guys, it is me, KyCoolz. Welcome to day 10 of 25 days of Christmas here on our channel. So today I'm bringing you guys another creator sim in The Sims 4. In fact, welcome our sim, BRICE Lewandowski. Now, he has a little bit of he has a little bit of a troubled background. You know, I believe that he doesn't have a bad bone in him. So all his life, he lived in Willow Creek with his foster parents. Now, they were in their maybe late 30s when they fostered or adopted Bryce. And of course, they were a lot older when Bryce became a teenager. You know, they were in their mid-50s, late 50s at the time. Yeah, because they adopted him when he was a child. He was about 4 or 5. And then, of course, when he was a teenager, he was 17, 18. Of course, they were a lot older. So they were elders. And, of course, Bryce always just got made fun of because of that reason. You know, he was adopted and he kind of got in. Well, he didn't kind of. He did. He got involved with a crowd of kids at school that were a really bad influence on him. And, you know, they'd go to parties and that sort of stuff, be out at late at night, and, you know, they'd be quite rebels, the children. And, of course, they would egg people's houses and smash up, like, ornaments in people's gardens. And he got involved with them because no one else literally could relate to Bryce, because most of his friends at school that he was hanging around with were, like, they came from broken homes themselves, or they were just misunderstood with their own parents and they were going through their own stuff, and he could totally relate. And he thought the only way to get through this was to rebel against everything and just start to misbehave. So it got to the point where his foster parents couldn't handle all of this mischievous behavior, as they said. They couldn't literally control Bryce. He was just out of control, and he started smoking and drinking. And he was quite physically just out of control as well. And he would lash out to his foster parents because he couldn't go out or go to prom. I mean, his foster parents weren't exactly the most wealthiest, but they had money to live quite comfortably, if that makes sense. So Bryce got sent to boot camp. His foster parents put him in that because they didn't want to see Bryce go down this path of distraction like his older brother did. Now, he never knew his older brother Luke. His brother Luke was quite heavily involved with crime, and he had a criminal record himself. And at the time that he was sent to boot camp, Luke was actually in prison. He was doing time in there for a couple of years. So they really didn't want Bryce going down the same path as his older brother. So unfortunately, he went to boot camp and he didn't change. He did not change. There was no change. It made it worse. Bryce came home and, you know, he was just more pissed off and angry and frustrated than ever before. So when he was 18, he decided he was going to move out of the house, which he did. He was like, I cannot deal with this right now. Everybody doesn't understand me. I'm literally going to move to Oasis Springs. So he moved to Oasis Springs. He stayed there for a couple of years. And then what happened was, obviously, Luke was out of prison at that time, had been out for a year, because Bryce went to boot camp, and that was a year, like hard out at a year for that boot camp. So he lived on the campus at the boot camp, and then he moved to Oasis Springs. Luke was out of prison. Literally, they bumped into each other, and they heard through the grapevine that they literally were in the same town, so they wanted to find each other. Bryce didn't really know about Luke's background, although he did kind of get the gist of who he truly was when he encouraged Bryce to go and start stealing cars and money laundering and stuff like that. Now, Bryce never had any intentions to want to get involved with that. He wasn't the type of guy to do that. He never ever wanted to get involved with that. Yeah, okay, he had a bad past. You know, he was dealing with some anger issues and stuff like that led him to get to boot camp, but he never wanted to go to prison. He just wanted to try and figure out his own life by himself without having been told what to do by his parents, you know what I mean? So in this time, he was trying to deal with his anger. I mean, he knew that it was a problem right from when he was a teenager. He started lashing out and he had no idea why he would do it, and then afterwards he would get really, really upset about his actions, and he just couldn't control himself. It was just uncontrollable. So he was trying to get help for that. You know, he went to a psychologist, and he was trying to better himself, and he was almost at the peak of this mountain of finding a better future for himself. And then Luke got Bryce involved with stealing cars, and he never ever did anything other than steal a car and went for a joyride. That led Bryce to get in prison, obviously. And he wasn't in there for that long. I mean, I don't even know exactly how long, but he wasn't in there for that long at all. And then he got out, and Bryce swore to himself that he would never, ever do a thing like that ever again. He never, ever wanted to do that. And yeah, he did disappoint his foster parents. And, you know, he was really, really upset. And of course, when he was in prison, he was seeing a psychologist, and he was taking anger management courses and programs to try and improve himself. And yeah, he literally, the first day out of prison, he swore to himself and his parents and literally his loved ones that he would never do that ever again. So now, as it stands, Bryce actually lives back in Willow Creek, right beside his foster parents. He has actually gotten himself over the last few years. Like, he's been out of prison now for 4 years, and in that time he's managed to get alcohol free, hasn't been smoking for 3 years, and he's been clean of all like criminal activities. So within those 5 years of being out of prison, you know, he had done some community service work. He had done some work experience at the local police station with the police officers, and he really, really saw the beauty in life again. You know, he really just became a completely different person, and his foster parents were so proud of him. So literally going on maybe 4 years when he was out of prison, he lived with his foster parents because he had nowhere else to go. His foster parents at the time were getting home help. They were very, very frail and very sick and poorly. And unfortunately, they passed away. And of course, this really, really rocked Bryce, but he didn't let it set him back at all. You know, he literally picked himself up, he used that, and he decided, you know, I'm going to make something for myself, and I'm going to build my own family, and I'm going to build a support network around me that is positive, and I'm going to make my foster parents proud. So literally, he got himself, let me backtrack. So over the last year, he got himself involved with Isabella. Now, she is a young adult. She is an Italian culinary chef, and she is just absolutely gorgeous. And of course, Bryce is head over heels madly in love with Isabella, and they live together now. So they've only been together for a year, but Isabella knows about his background and his past, and he slowly but surely integrated very nicely with her parents into their family now. So they've been together nearly a year now, or they've been together a year now, going on a year and a half, and they're really excited to, you know, potentially build their own house and build their own family, and I'm so proud of Bryce for what, you know, for truly who he has become. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this cast here. I hope that you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see all of you beautiful lovelies next time. Bye, guys.